Today's Coffee with Carrie, I want to talk a little bit about how to market your job fair. So we get a lot of questions on how do you market a virtual job fair, and is that any different than marketing for positions or marketing for career fairs, things like that? Really, it boils down to, the marketing tactics that you're using today. You want to incorporate across the board promoting your virtual video job fairs. And so, depending upon how many positions you have open, when you need to fill those positions and what your recruitment and your supervisors are really focused on, um, you want to post a time when you're going to have a date and time when you're going to have a virtual job fair. And the fact that you don't need to do it on site, you don't have to rent booths, you don't have to have events. These promotions you want to do, 2, 3 weeks out, and you want to do it at convenient times for people that are working. And so, if you're in the restaurant industry, most everybody has job fairs from 2 to 4. That's kind of the standard job fairs. And as much as your supervisors or recruiters don't want to work in the evening or on their lunch hour, those are usually the best times to have the job fairs, so people aren't having to take off work. Um, the good thing about virtual job fairs is, somebody on their break time, can go do an interview or run home for lunch or, do it at the office, whatever. So it's not as dependent on work schedules that it is, putting in with a time frame that there's a good probability that they might have a break or a lunch during that time frame if they're currently working. And so when you look at that, you want to start the promoting typically, some people start a month out, some people start 3 weeks out, but you want to be able to post the date and time in that. And then you really want to look at your kind of marketing recruiting funnel, that talent process of where you're currently marketing today. So a great thing is on your job boards, you're probably using job boards, you probably have your positions posted. In the description in the job boards, mention the job fair. Mention instructions on how to get to the job fair and the date and time. Um, Even if somebody's not going to apply for your position today, they see when the job fair is. They might go to the landing page of the job fair. They might, come back from that standpoint. They might tell others about it. So you want to include it on all the job boards. When you receive applications, if you're not going to interview that person before the job fair and you want to push them to the job fair, have an email together for your recruiters and your supervisors to invite people to the job fair or auto replies or whatever it may be to get them to the job fair. Most people with their talent acquisition system, or if you don't have one, maybe you're using a CRM, whatever it may be, you have this pool of candidates that, maybe they've applied in the past, you didn't have a position for them, maybe they weren't ready at the time, whatever. Put together a nice email, put together kind of an email creative that promotes the job fair. Make sure in that email you give instructions on the virtual job fair. So you want to let people know, how they're going to access it, whether you're using just desktop video technology where they need to be in front of a computer, or if you have a mobile app, maybe you want to tell them about that they can do it from their mobile device. But make sure they know that. Make sure that they know that they're going to need a webcam. And, depending upon what your policy is for, dress attire or interview, it's always nice to let people know that even though it's a video interview, treat it as if they were coming in person because you want them to look their best. You want them to make a good representation. And so it's very important when you're promoting that you kind of put that in. We usually put those on all the landing pages for the virtual job fairs just so people know and they kind of have that as a reminder. And so, put together that email communication, send it out, make sure everybody knows. And then take a flavor of that email and send it to your current employees. The best referrals come from current employees. And your employees are the feet on the street that know who's looking for a job, who's not. And so invite them to invite their friends to the job fair as well. And then lastly, depending upon what positions you're looking for, when you look at marketing, a great way is to put on your social media, to promote those ads, to really target people. So If you're depending upon what company you have, who's your competitor, you can run some really cool ads on digital and target people that have certain titles with certain companies and invite them to this job fair. Put it on your LinkedIn, put it on all your social media, and have all your recruiters and hiring managers do the same thing, and really get the word out from that standpoint. If you're going to promote the job fair, depending upon your application process, you might have people, pre-register for the job fair. You might have them submit their application or submit their resume and keep that on file. Some clients have some screener questions before you can enter the job fair. So it's really about thinking about that process and kind of getting that ready to start doing your first job fair. Any print ads that you do, some people are still using paper, some people are still using job boards, and really reach out to your local universities, reach out to your community colleges, reach out, if you're a restaurant, reach out to your high schools and promote it. It's something different. It's something that gives you a competitive advantage and allows those conversations to happen real naturally versus real salesy. And so really kind of just create your own little process of the marketing mediums that you're going to hit, a guide for your supervisors or hiring managers, a process kind of for the candidates and how you want to communicate to them, how to be able to connect and dress and feel. It's really not complicated. Once you have that process down, you can reuse it over and over and over again. And you really get some insights into how many candidates you're getting in this job fair, how many, you'll see the rankings of them right away. You'll be able to see candidate feedback, and you'll really be able to do that in a quick fashion, very unlike the manual process of job fairs and career fairs. You can do it all virtual, you can do it all electronic, all digital, and all through video. So that's your today's Coffee with Carrie.